Hello, everybody. It's your boy, the Guru, back again. And today we are going to be taking a look ahead. We are going to be taking a look ahead to what is coming next in Uma Musume Pretty Derby. And we are going to be simply starting with the first banner you will see in January, since the reality is a lot of people have been holding off polling simply because the banners between first anniversary and 1.5 anniversary are, well, they're not monsters per se. Like, there's some good ones that pop up. A lot of people like Camping Tacky Shuttle. Then you got Air Shakur, who's a fan favorite. The Taki Shuttle card is good for Mile. But, like, there's nothing that's, like, universally holy shit type thing, right? Yeah, we're getting there now. But let's start off with the one, the only Summer Gold Ship. I am just going to straight up say this Gold Ship is just a parent. It is just a parent and only a parent. And that is for one reason and one reason only. Adventures of 564 is an amazing unique. And it is going to bring in a little bit of a shift because Adventures of 564 will allow essentially debuffers to be everywhere. You can pretty much expect that double debuffer plus one ace will become a simple strategy for people to use because, as Mumu Cow says, it legitimately is just the easiest. And the reason is Adventures of 564, as most people know, you can activate 2 gold skills at random, ignoring their conditions. And you can pretty much set it up on someone so that the only gold skills they have are the Dominator ones, the debuff ones. And that's just going to allow Summer Gold Ship to change the meta. I don't think she's going to be as much as it influences some people think. I do think if you ignore her existence, though, you got a problem. Because there are going to be a lot of people who borrow this Uma just to make double Dominator strats on long. I do think, though, in terms of, like, playable, like, CM worthy, she is behind OG Gold Ship. OG Gold Ship is just a much better CM right now. Umastan is very powerful. It isn't that hard to get straightaway spurt. But speaking of straightaway spurt, I do think Project L'Arc Gold Ship will overtake it. As Project L'Arc Gold Ship has, again, another target speed increase. That's pretty good. But it has this. Any end closer that has innate encroaching shadow, you're really good in my book. You have a lot of stuff there that makes it good. Of course, in JP, they're having to deal with this demon, who has just a lot to work with, but we aren't there yet, so we won't talk about it. But what we will talk about is going to be Summer McQueen. I will say Summer McQueen has one unique thing going for her. It's that she will be pretty damn good on longs. Her unique is a speed skill that increases based on your remaining stamina. That's a lot. And I believe it has... Oops, wrong one. I believe it increases, like... There's, like, 4 times it could increase, but, like, that's a lot. One of the things to also remember is that we are going to get to the point in long races where you're going to have a lot of stamina. It has innate playtimes over, has a couple stamina skills. Like, this is just going to be a pace chaser long focus, which is going to be alright. The problem McQueen has is that she has right now no ability to get... where are you? Here we are. She has no ability to get Monster. And Monster is a pretty much mandatory pace skill if you are going for, like, CMs and whatnot. because right now Pace Chasers have little to nothing that works with them. If you're wondering, I think Monster is introduced with Narita Bryant. So this Narita Bryant is going to be very, very good, especially in longs, but I do think it could probably work in medium. And it's going to be one of those things where when Monster's introduced as a card, again, I believe the first one to get it is that TM Opera O, you're going to see Pace Chasers get better. Until then, you're just going to have to wait. But overall, if you want my opinion, I think Summer Gold Ship is definitely, if you are wanting a UMA that allows you to make not only your CMs a little more interesting, but your team trials better, she's definitely worth it. Measure McQueen Summer is strong, but because she is mostly a pace chaser, in terms of meta, she struggles a bit. And that is simply because, especially on long CMs right now, pace chasers just aren't that great. It's either front running or end closing for a lot of things. Pace chasers can have moments when uniques like Budding Blossom and Shooting for Victory are good, but on longs, those just aren't. Anyway, Summer Maru. This is one of the big cards coming out. And as a frontrunner card, she is spec-fucking-tacular. Easily one of the best cards you could get right now as a frontrunner. In large part just because of this. This is adding, like, at minimum, midway through your game. Like, just assume you're getting, at the classic year, the midway point of the classic year, just assume you're getting, like, 15 training effectiveness from it on most things. In the summer, everything that this pops on is 25, and it's going to pop on a lot because it has low specialty priority to help this hit more than just speed. But then, like, you look at the skills are insane for frontrunners. So, like, overall, this is a god-tier frontrunner card early, but I think just simply because of this. Like, if you're going into Grand Live, right? If you're going into Grand Live, hold a sec. Let me get just like throw on a Grand Live deck, if you get what I mean. Right? So this is probably what I will be aiming to run on Grand Live. Where are you? And then... oh, no, too much of those left. Where are you? There we go. So this is probably what I'm going to be aiming to run on Grand Live, right? And I only use Festa because I think Festa's better than most of the support cards I have. The support wits I have. But, like, that 25% training effectiveness probably comes in handy a lot more just because in Grand Live you're going to be training a lot, but also the summers, again, it's just going to be that much. There's so much good about Maruzensky. Though I do think, like, if you do get the MLB Agnes Tachyon, and of course everybody probably has MLB Kita right now, like, she probably is the one you bounce if you need to 1-3 wit instead. Just because I think Kita with the specialty priority is so much more important for Grand Live, and she has an innate 15 training effectiveness off the bat. But, like, say you want to run that, say you want to run this, like, Summer Maru's definitely going to be worth it as just a great speed card. So I think people should pull on this card. And you may be wondering, well, what about Nakayama Festa? I think Nakayama Festa is better than people give it. I don't think Festa is as good as... so, like, if you want to ask me what Festa is good as, I definitely don't think Festa is as good as Light Hello. I don't think Festa's as good as Nice Nature MLB. I do think she's better than CB. And that is simply because I think CB is more innate till end closers. Like, Festa has higher hit levels, higher training effectiveness, higher mood effect, higher, not as high friendship bonus, no specialty priority. But like, if you said to me, if you have MLB Festa but no CB, I think you're good with Festa. Like, skill point bonus, wit bonus, yeah, there's a ton of hints, but like, they're not bad. Nimble Navigator, Uma Stand, Late Surger Straightaways, Wet Conditions is never a bad thing to have. Another thing is Summer Runner. So, like, if you have a Festa at, like, let's say, fuck, you, like, to me, Festa at 2LB isn't that bad. Just because you really don't care about the race bonus and the fan bonus for Grand Live. But, like, I'm saying but like again, but essentially, I think that if you get a Festa when you don't have an MLB Nature, an MLB CB, you're not looking that bad. The other card to consider is going to be in August, I believe, but that is the Tokatea wood card. That wood card has fucking 20 training effectiveness at MLB. So, like, it's a good card for Grand Life. So, like, there's a bunch of really good SSR wit cards. And, of course, if you don't have Tachyon, you could run the SR with Tachyon, which is incredibly good, right? But most people probably will have 3LB or MLB Speed Tachyon. So, yeah, I still think this banner is definitely a must pull. I think if you've been saving smartly, you should have more than enough to toss on this, and eventually this. We will get to that in a minute, because that's exactly what I'm doing. Because again, there was no real banners to pull between first anniversary and 1.5 anniversary. By the way, to mention, at 1.5 anniversary, we are getting a free selector that can get you Marzensky. So just keep that in mind as well. But anyway, the next one on our list is going to be a little bit easy one. It is Bamboo Mercury and a... Well, just skip this fucking banner. Don't even pull on it. But, Bamboo Mercury. She gets a better version as Summer. Summer Bamboo Mercury is actually very good. It releases likely about half a year after this one. So you probably do want to pull on this if you are a Bamboo Oshi. But what can Bamboo give you? Bamboo gives you an acceleration that also can stack. So base acceleration is 0.1. It's not good, but it can go up to 0.4. Now, if you are wondering, to compare that to an acceleration, I believe it's on a corner as well. Yep. During or after the final corner, Saiyan Sky's acceleration is 0.4. So, if you are passing people, it is a very, very good acceleration. And, thankfully, Bamboo Mercury has an innate late surger, but it can also be end. She has ramp up, help with the passing, outer swell, again, passing, and again, look at there, position towards the back. She does have sprint corners. As you can see, she can be a sprinter if needed. I don't think she's great at it. She's mostly going to be a miler with late surger focus and a little bit of velocity increased. So, what are you looking at in terms of, like, if you are a Bamboo Mercury Oshi player, what are you going to be dealing with? You are mostly going to be playing on the mile. Late surger is likely. That isn't great because right now Late Surger does not have any real tools. That being said, there are some things coming. The biggest is the Daichi Ruby Power Card. The Daichi Ruby Power Card is going to open the door for Late Surgers. Ironically enough, the Daichi Ruby Power card will be coming out fairly soon after Bamboo Mercury. So if you look at Bamboo Mercury, she's anticipated to come around July 11th. Daichi Ruby is anticipated to come out 1 month later. When Daichi Ruby comes out, that is going to change Late Surgers, because it is the first real good Late Surger card for sprints and miles. This skill alone can really change it. So, and it's simply put, if you're about to overtake someone on the second half of the pack during the final leg, you get an acceleration increase. So, like, you could likely combine Bamboo's acceleration into that and get a huge acceleration increase. But again, so can other Late Surgers. So really, with Bamboo, it's all about how well she does with the Daichi Ruby card. And I do think there's a lot of potential there for Oshi players of Bamboo Mercury to kick some ass. That being said, I also think if you truly do want to win with Bamboo Mercury, just wait till this one. This one is so much better. In large part because it's... The one problem the other Bamboo Mercury has is because it has a lot of, like, split skills. This one is far more of a sprinter, but it can be run to mile because its awakening skills are all outside of Turbo Sprint. Focused on, it's got Nimble Nav as well, but, like, on your left is decent. Really, now that I think about it, this Bamboo Mercury's a sprinter, this one's a miler. And I think both can work. You'll just have to be a little bit forceful in it, if you get my drift. Anyway, we will go back now. So we have finished Bamboo Mercury. As I said, fuck this banner. It is a rerun banner of 2 worthless cards to you. If you really need No Stopping Me, just borrow this. Anyway. Oh, Satan's here. So I'm sure most people know this by now, but Capano Ricky is an absolute sociopath of a dirt horse. And that simply comes down to this. Depending on the amount of green skills you've activated, your speed and acceleration will increase. That is a... So it's 0.25, and it goes up by 0.5. A lot of people, from what I've seen, have recommended like 5 or 6 to do it. There's just... There's a reason why this single Uma has dominated dirt, and only just recently, I believe it's like half a year ago, has apparently went from the SSS, this is the best dirt horse, to this is one of the best dirt horses. And it's just one of those things, like, she can run mile and medium, which are, I believe, the only speeds of the dirt track thus far. She's better as a front runner, but can be run pace, and it's just like... This is going to be a monster. If you look at... where is it? Here, so we're going to bring up Henry Handsome Derby. His carrot calculator has added a... Hold on a sec. I always check this. Give me 1 second. Damn it. His carrot calculator has added a CM helper. And if you look at CM17, here's Capano Ricky, here's Capano Ricky, here's Capano Ricky. Like... She is just going to be good for the entirety of Uma Musume. And if you really want a dirt monster that can carry you through the entirety, pretty much the entirety of Uma Musume, this Capano Ricky is that. I haven't really looked at Parade Capano Ricky, but like, that skill just sucks compared to the other one. That's just how it is. But yeah, so if you really need a dirt monster, this Capano Ricky is worth it. Alright, let's look at the support cards, and that is Manhattan Cafe SSR is the first. I really have nothing to say about this card. It feels good-ish. The problem with stamina cards is that, well, simply put, Super Creek exists. Super Creek exists. It'd be very surprising if people don't have at least a 2 or 3 LB Super Creek. And where are you? Super, there you are. And then we will show upcoming Manhattan Cafe. Alright, and if you look at it, better friendship bonus, stamina bonus, gut bonus, okay, but training effectiveness, initial stamina, initial friendship gauge, race bonus, fan bonus, special priority, it all favors Super Creek, and Super Creek has Swinging Maestro. Like, unless you need a long specific skill, which, again, they give long corners, long straightaways, the issue is Super Creek is just better. So, like, I don't know why you would pull with this card. There is a very good Manhattan Cafe card coming out pretty quickly after. So, again, about a half a year. It is going to be this Manhattan Cafe Wit card. This is just a great card. It's one of the cards that you can go for because it has Lose Yourself. Lose Yourself essentially becomes what Monster is for Pace Chasers. Lose Yourself becomes what it is for Late Surgers because Lose Yourself is the skill Late Surgers needed. Granted, Manhattan Cafe is not the card that gets it first. It is actually Symbolic Chris S. that will get it first. Symbolic Chris S gets Lose Yourself along with Late Surger Straightaways corners. But yeah, Lose Yourself is the card that changes Late Surger's luck. So, honestly, if you really want a Manhattan Cafe Wit card, just wait. Like, she's got 2 stamina cards that, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, aren't that great. Like, Stamina Siphon is a unique, sure, but you don't want that as your gold skill in an SSR. And, like, of Combine, again, I don't think that's anything you really want. But yeah, so that is that. By the way, Wedding Cafe, I do not care if you end up being bad, you are glorious. Anyway, so what about the SR? The SR Saiyan Sky, if you get it, you should not complain. This is a very good SR. It's got high training effect. It's got decent training effectiveness. Got good mood. It's got good wisdom recovery. It's got good hint level. The big thing is it's just got a lot of good front runner skills for a SR card. Front runner savvy, never a bad thing. Early lead, fast pace, never a bad thing. It has fucking groundwork. It has hesitant pace chasers. It has second wind. It has keeping the lead. It has hesitant late surgers. This is just a good SR card. If you get it, you are having no complaints. Alrighty. It is time for Smart Falcon's Grand Live debut. This Smart Falcon is interesting because she is competing with the OG Smart Falcon. The OG Smart Falcon is very, very good. It has a way to keep the lead with acceleration and target speed. It has prudent positioning. It has front runner savvy. Center stage is good on dirt courses. I have no idea if this skill is good, to be honest. Leader's Pride is good. Top pick apparently is good. Like, this is just a strong front runner that has been used not only in all dirt races, but has shown up in some mile, some sprint. And I know there's a guy who has been running Smart Falcon in every single CM. Can Grand Live compete with that? I don't think so. The thing about this is a stamina recovery instead of an acceleration. And it's if you're near the front. Like, it's got front runner corners. It's good. But, like, it just doesn't have the skills that would do it outside of maybe this. Which, you know, is, again, a 0.4 acceleration. But, again, I'd much rather play around a front runner that keeps the lead, that doesn't try to get it. This is a terrible skill because it only hits one person. If you want a skill like that, you just get Speed Eater for all the miles, or if you really need Speed Eater, Adventures 6.5 is there. So overall, I don't think the Smart Falcon is going to pass the other Smart Falcon. I do think it's going to be good. I just think we're going to be looking at it as more a side grade or maybe a bit of a diagonal downgrade. It still does get prudent positioning, which is awesome. But I do think if you have OG Smart Falcon, you're probably in a better place. I haven't really looked at Parade Falcon. Oh. Oh, that is actually a pretty unique skill. Target speed isn't that bad. Dirt corners. That's funny. Ooh, early lead, concentration. Okay. That isn't that bad. I still think OG Smart Falcon is very good. But anyway, let's screw that. It's Light Hello Agnes Tachyon time. Light Hello Agnes Tachyon. The cards. We will be getting free pulls, either 50 or 60, depending on when you decide to pull. First and foremost, let's just get away with Light Hello. 2 limit break is the goal, as most people know. This is a must pull. Light Hello is a must pull simply because she is tied to the scenario. Like, you just need to accept that scenario cards are going to be must pulls. Right? Like, scenario cards are going to be must pulls. You're going to want to borrow Darby Allin. You're going to want to pull her, and her. They're all going to be must pulls because they're all tied to the scenario. And that is both a awesome and frustrating thing. So, Light Hello's biggest gimmick is the fact that, one, she just gives a whole bunch of energy, but two, her biggest gimmick is that she can give you tokens. Randomly after that, she can appear and either give you one of those, right? And give you an extra 20 tokens, right? And that is huge because those tokens go into the Grand Live scenario, and most people who have looked up Grand's Live know that it is all about token farming. You need as many tokens as you can to get as many songs done as you can. So that's why I say Light Hello is a mandatory pull. I think that the way Grand Live is designed, you need her. Like, you need her, and having her in your deck and not boring her constantly is going to be so important. Right? And like at max limit break, she's good, but again, 2 limit break is when the training effectiveness gets to 10% and it stays there. And of course, she has the gold skill of Playtime's Over, which is very good. And of course, she gives you 2 Savvies. But the big one is going to be Agnes Tachyon. Agnes Tachyon Speed is the best card in Grand Live. Like, in terms of, like, non-Light Hello, Agnes Tachyon Speed fundamentally breaks Grand Live. With just high specialty priority, high friendship training, high skill points, all that. There's been a lot of debate of, like, is Agnes Tachyon a must pull, right? I am under the belief that you can get away with boring Tachyon. You can get away with not having Tachyon, since, as I showcased here, where are you? The SR Agnes Tachyon is very good. Like, it is just very, very good. That being said, in terms of, like, a full-on, like, you are chasing champions meeting meta deck, I think you're losing a bit if you don't have a Tachyon. Because, just simply put, Agnes Tachyon, that card is out of this world. Like, it is actually out of this world good. And you could say, well, maybe I got a speed card to replace it, right? You really don't. Like, maybe Biko. Like, Biko is decent, but it's nowhere near the Tachyon. And that's the issue. You are running a scenario where Agnes Tachyon is so significantly better that it's kind of hard to ignore. I don't think she is like. Let me put it to you like this. When you are pulling on this banner, your priority, your hope is to get at least 3 light hellos. So 2 LB light hellos. That is the goal. Because 2 LB light hellos can allow you to do amazing in the scenario. You can live with boring Agnes Tachyon. You hope to get 3LB Agnes Tachyon, because 3LB makes her quite usable. You can live with boring her, in my opinion. Because 3LB Agnes Tachyon, essentially, I think the 3LB for Agnes Tachyon is just. Yeah, it's only 1 skill point and a little bit less. So, like, you can live with boring Tachyon or 3LB. You need, at minimum, 2LB Light Hello. And I do think that is probably going to be it. We don't really need to talk about what's coming up next. It's, for me, there really isn't much. Like, there's a good, decent one there, decent one there. I will say, Uma Musume between 1.5 and 2 gives you far more powerful options than between 1 and 1.5. Like, you got another rerun of Mr. CB Super Creek coming up. These guys are pretty good. Narita Brian Blaze, though I'm using the selector on that. Hoko Tarume is a pretty good dirt horse. Daitako Helios is a mile king. We all love Shinko Windy in this house, and then of course, second anniversary shows up. I've already mentioned how Daichi Ruby kind of becomes a must borrow. Similarly, Chris S, again, depending on the situation, a must borrow. Siki the Pearl, a very good sprinter. Like, there's a lot more between 1.5 and 2. It's just, the problem again comes, there's another monster. Yep. It's Meijiro Ramono. If you thought Agnes Tachyon and Light Hello was a must pull, this is like, if you don't have it, you're fucked. And that is simply because Meijiro Ramono is the Uma that really brings in the skill point bonus meta, where hint levels and skill points are the kings of Uma Musume. But that is something we won't have to worry about till about the end of the year. Now, I appreciate y'all listening to this video. Let me also just understate that my opinions are my opinions. This is how I feel and how I will be handling it, as you can tell. Like, literally, my first Uma pull isn't till Laurel, who I want to meta, and Neo Universe, who, yes, I know is also meta, but it's Neo fucking Universe, one of the best fucking characters in the whole game. I also have this one here just in case, because again, I would prefer to pull for the ancestors, but if not, I won't. It really just all depends how much carrots I have and how it affects the rest of the planner going forward, because, like, as you can tell, I have set it up in a way that most likely gets me either right next to or guarantees what I want. But I am excited to finally start pulling on this game again in a couple weeks, because it is very likely that this banner is either on the 1st or 2nd of the month. But that being said, this is the first of a, like, hey, we're actually going to look at these type things. I'll probably do a little more of these as it goes on, because, you know, I just like talking about it. And, oh yeah, one final thing, don't use me to, like, when I say someone like Measure McQueen or, like, Bamboo Mercury may have trouble, I am trying to talk about it in a way of, like, if it is an Oshi pick and you want to take them into a CM, this is what you're dealing with, this is what you're fighting against type thing. I still think I'm probably undervaluing Bamboo Mercury. I would not be surprised if she takes over a bit. Especially when the Daichi Ruby card comes out. But with McQueen, the no existence of monster makes Pace Chasers very difficult in this day and age right now outside of, like, mile courses. So anyway, that was this latest video. I will catch you on the flip side. Peace!